before I drop the sides down. Okay, so we are doing the blunt haircut, 0 elevation. Can somebody please tell me, when we talk about elevation, what are we comparing it to? If I talk about elevating the hair or lifting the hair, I done told the answer, but what am I comparing it to? That makes sense at all? All right, so when I have the hair and we talk about elevation, it's comparing the hair to the scalp. How far am I lifting away from the scalp? So if I take the hair and I leave it flat like this, it's not lifting away at all from the scalp. But when I come in here, down in here, it's going to make like a little triangle at the bottom when I start lifting it out. So if y'all think about that little geometry glass.
So would it be like how the hair like falls? Like,
yeah, that's gonna be the impact. It's gonna reflect how the hair falls. So when I hold it out at certain elevation, my end result is gonna show how the hair will lay. So when I hold it out, if I hold it out at certain elevations, it's going to do something different to the hair. So if I don't elevate it at all of my weight is going to show down here, okay?
So today we're doing 0.
We're doing 0. But if you take a look in comparison to the scalp, there's no lift. So it's just 0 elevation. But when I lift it up a little bit more like this, then I'm looking at I see a 45-degree angle down here. Y'all feeling me? Right in that area right here. 45 degree. And when I lift it straight out, I end up with a 90-degree angle. Straight here. And I can do that little thing that we do for the right angle. Y'all catch, let me draw it on the board. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this cut. We talked enough, now let's get rolling. So, I have mine kind of pieced apart a little bit, okay? To where you can see the center. That's going to always be our focal point for balance on both sides. So I'm going to cut this row, kind of awkward so y'all can see. Then I'm going to turn the head towards me so that y'all can see how your body should be positioned when you're cutting. So this is for the folks on the right side or my right, and then when I cut this side, this will be for you guys. All right, so I'm going to come in the center. And if y'all kind of need to step out, that's cool. Okay. I'm going to come to the center, 1 inch on one side of the part, 1 inch on the other side. So I got about 2 inches worth of hair in my hand, from here to there, to my second knuckle. And here I go being fast, about to cut some more hair off. Down here is what I'm going to cut off. If I need to measure to see how much I can take from, I'm going to cut below my fingers, okay? And I can come down here and measure. This camera is not forgiving at all. All right, there we go. Something like that. And now I'm going to take my shears and I'm going to come right here and I'm going to just cut 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to drop that down. Then I'm going to split it in half. Sorry guys, I got to do this side first. It's more comfortable. Okay. I'm going to take half of this and then I'm going to take some of the new hair on the left side and some of the old hair that I just cut, and I'm going to combine about 2 inches worth of hair in my fingers. I'm going to bring it straight down, no elevation. See how you can see that guide? Maybe not. Turn it to the camera so y'all, somebody can see. Y'all can't see, at least the camera can. So y'all go back and look. So here I have short and I have new hair. Y'all see that? Okay. And I'm going to come in here and cut this. Okay. Drop that down. Split that baby in half. And I'm going to move her head so everybody can see. Okay. And then I'm just going to come over and cut this. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the other side. I'm going to hit up halfway. Did anybody see anything? Okay. Just one person. I'll let you girl, just one person. All right, I'm coming back to that center and I'm getting some of the hair we already cut. Okay? And I ain't really got much over here. I really could take this whole thing. Let's see. Okay, so look, I can drop some of my guide out. So I end up with, from my front tip of my finger to right here, about 2 inches worth of hair. Okay, and then I'm just gonna come in here and cut this baby. So I can cut here, or I can cut like this. But just remember, for demonstration purposes, I kind of had it like this. You really want your finger to be flat like this right here when you're cutting it, okay? Okay. All right, now body position. If I'm really cutting for comfort, I'm gonna need y'all again, so I'm just gonna stick y'all right here. If I'm really cutting for comfort, I'm gonna come up about 1 inch. And I can still see my guide through it. And it's alright, that's as good as it's gonna get with that part. And then I'm gonna turn her so that I'm comfortable. Okay. So I might, depending on how tall or what's going on in my chair, if I bend, I'm bending with my knees, kind of relaxing my back a little bit, because I'm telling y'all, you're gonna pay for it later. Kind of got my legs straddled out a little bit. So although it may look a little awkward, I thank Regis for all those little ergonomically correct videos we had to watch once a month about putting your back out, how to properly pick up a box. We giggled and laughed the whole time. And it will always tell us at the end of the video, this is how much this person, if they would have had to go to the doctor, how much money they would have lost by being out of work. So they like follow the rules and do things ergonomically correct so you don't end up hurting your body. So that was the moral of those meetings and those videos, but I get it. And it's real life. So I'm like in my 40s now, and I feel all of the, if I ever did anything wrong, I can feel it now. So now I'm just kind of squatting a little bit, and then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to stand right in front of where I'm cutting. I don't want to have to drag the hair over. I don't want to drag it over this way. It's going to give me an uneven cut. It's going to make it too long in one area. It's going to, if I over direct it. So I'm going to stand right in front, and I see my guide, and I'm going to come right in here and cut that area. And I'm just going to kind of shift over a little bit, but I'm standing like right in this area in front of my client. I can see my guide through here. And then I'm going to shift it a little bit more. And what did I not do that I was supposed to do, y'all? What did I not do? Tell me, I did something wrong before I moved on. I did something that there was something, a step that I skipped that I showed y'all yesterday that I did not do today after I finished my guide. Say that again. Come on, I did not cross check. Okay, so let me take this row back and go back in and cross check my work before I move on, because if this row right here is wrong, everything is going to be wrong. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to come back here and cross check my guide, and I'm going to bring them. Let me fix this little part I got. It jacks up. But I'm going to cross-check this guide, and I'm going to bring them over to the center, and I got my left side just a little tad shorter. Just a little bit shorter. Okay, so I got to go and correct that, being too fast. Okay, so I'm going to come back through, and I'm just going to look and peek and look at my work. And I'm going to start the center, and I'm going to work my way back over and see what I did wrong. Now, if I can't figure it out, I will take, and I'll show y'all. Let's see if I can. Okay, I can see it right here, right in this little corner. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in and recheck that. And anytime I'm in doubt, I will bring them to kind of together to where they need to go. And I might come in and I might just trim off on the side that's too long, just to even those two out. Just to kind of give me a little bit of help. And then I can go to this corner. If I did it that way, I can go to the corner that I just trimmed off and hold my fingers back in the position. And usually it will tell me what I need to clean up. So I'm going to see a guide, long, then guide. Okay, and then I will be able to come in and just clean up that little area. Okay, and then after that, I go to my next row and do the same thing. So since I've done those 2 rows, and I have to clean this work up, I'm gonna come back and clean her up in a minute. But I want y'all to go ahead, and I want everybody to get a chance to hold your mannequin head straight up. And I want us to find our comfort level. If you have your extension in and you know that it's already high as you can get, we gotta make a decision if we need to use our chair to kind of get better control of the hair. So let's kind of get our comfort zone and get started with cutting. All right, I'll be right up.
Should I cut this the same way?
Say that again.
Should I cut this the same way?
Yep, everything is going to that first guide. And keep it flat, yep.
Like all this right here. This section.
So keep going up 1 inch. Keep going up 1 inch. That's not going to change.
I feel like it does not take this long for a haircut.
Say what?
I feel like it does not take this long for a haircut.
Okay, this is your first time doing it. It's taking exactly how long it should take for it being your first time. So we ain't rushing. We just trying to learn how to do it.
I'm ready to get to this one. Ain't that ugly?
Mary Ann, if you've already done that to the guide, the first guide, where you draw it to the center, now just make sure that everything that you can see your bottom guide, that it matches up. I'll be right over, but this part,
I want to make sure that before I go to the third one,
okay, but can you see that same guide? Okay, if you can see that, then that's good, but I'll be right up. You just won't, but like how we did it before, keep bringing it to the center. As we move up, our guide is at the bottom, so it challenges us. We just gotta make sure that that first guide is good. So I'll be up in a minute. And as you guys work your way up, you're going to notice it's really not a lot of hair coming off. It's okay. Don't force it. Don't try to make more hair come off. Okay? When we get to our sides, you're probably not going to have hardly anything. Like I know that by the time I finish this row, I'm really not going to be cutting off nothing but little straggly ends. And a situation where this would be so would be if my client, let's imagine they had layers in their hair, and we're growing the layers out, and maybe they eventually want all one layer. We're not, as I'm cutting and gradually cutting the bottom area shorter and shorter, the top is growing out, so I really shouldn't be cutting much at the top or the sides of the head if that client had layers, and our goal is to grow those layers out. Hardly nothing but little straggles. Right on my table.
So right here, is where we're supposed to stop?
Keep going.
Keep going?
The hair's gonna talk to you. It will. So when you guys are working with the hair, one of the terms you guys are gonna learn is what we call tension. And the amount of tension, you just wanna be consistent. That is the pressure that I'm using to hold the hair, okay? So if I use a lot of tension, okay, I'm holding it, and I wanna make sure, oh, I combed some hair down, those little pieces. But if I'm holding it kind of tight and snug and firm, okay? Guess you would call it strong tension, heavy tension, doing the most tension. Then I might just lightly kind of, have some moderate tension, okay? And just kind of lightly hold it. But when you're dealing with hair like curly hair, that's when you want to eat. You're going to do one or the other. Either it's going to be full tension or you're going to hold it naturally, like loosen it with the comb. And this is what we call like mild or light tension. And you just want to kind of hold it. You're not really trying to control it. So you just kind of naturally allowing the hair to do what it's going to do. There are times when we're cutting where we really want to do that, okay? So if I'm cutting, you might do something like a diva cut. and you're really just not going in strong on the curls. You're keeping the curls in place, and you're lightly holding those curls out, and you're changing the elevation, but you're just lightly holding the hair so that the curls can kind of stay intact. So that's a way where you're using like light tension on the hair, where you're not holding the hair so strong and so heavy, and you're keeping it in its like natural form or natural state while you're cutting. So that is sometimes, so just keep in mind, just be consistent with it. If you choose to use light or moderate tension, just be consistent as you're working the way around the whole head. I just made some words up. Boom. I'm sorry. I might have to section less. Okay, I might not section as much. If my client has thick, coarse, high density, that's when sectioning is important, because I don't want to have to stress myself out trying to find my guide, losing my guide. So with this mannequin hair at this point, we really don't have to do our sections as small as we're doing them, but we want to practice. Okay, practice what we're going to do. So after I get over here in my back area, okay, so I started in the center and I cleaned up my back. Now I'm going to the side. I'm going to use the hair from back here, and I am going to take the piece. I'm not coming all the way down here for my guide. I'm using the hair that's close to it that I just cut. And I can even take some of that out. Okay. Let me see if I can find a guide. So I can see my guide there. So I don't have to take the hair back here. Okay. I'm taking what's next, and I'll show y'all when I get to this side. But I want to use the hair that I just previously cut from back here. The next amount of hair, 1 inch of hair, is this area right here. Okay, so I'm going to comb that down and use this hair right there as my guide. Okay, I'm just going to take my finger straight across, cut that, and I'm going to regroup and get me some more hair. And it's getting real thin and straggly over here, guys. Okay, now there are some cuts, like what we call those lobs, where all of this hair is over directed and it is taken to the back. That's a look, that's a trend, that's a type of blunt cut, but it's going to be more, it's going to be a little bit longer in the front when we over direct and push the hair back. It's going to keep it long. That's not what we're doing today, okay? We're just getting it all around even cut, okay? So let's see. I felt like I just rounded mine off like that, but it's all good. That's what Maribel asked for. So then for you guys on this side, let me turn this way. I'm about to do all sorts of drama. Alright, and then y'all can't see, so I'm going to come over here like this and just keep myself where I'm supposed to be at. Alright, so when I come to this side over here, I'm going to do the same thing, come from the center, okay? I took what was already previously cut in the center, and I just see some little straggly hairs. It's not a lot. That's what you guys are going to expect at this point. There's just not a lot of hair left to cut off, and I don't want us to force it. Some might have more than others, depending on how much you took off for your guide. Okay, so these little straggly little pieces is all I got. That's all I got. So I just use the hair from back here, and this is what's going to help me to work my size. Okay, so you see there, I'm not pulling this hair, I'm pulling what was on the side, which is still going to reach down there. Okay, but this is going to matter when we start doing different types of cuts. Don't forget this. All right, I'm doing too much. Come back over here. Oh, I can't even see these little stringy strings. And now my guide here. Okay, now I got to double check. Now when I check the front, I want to take these two pieces, and I can already see that this guy right here is shorter, okay, on my right side. So I'm going to come down here in my chin area, right there, and I'm going to make sure my peaks match. Get a little bit. Come on. Big difference, okay? So I'm going to come in here and draw my finger down, and I'm going to get these guys evened out. So for you guys over here, I'm going to take these pieces, and I'm now using my nose as my center. Just drawing those pieces together. This ain't too bad, honey. I like to mess you up. I was about to cut it shorter than it was supposed to be. Alright, so I'm going to kind of move my body over here. And it's just to smidge it off. I had it all holding it kind of strange. Alright, so I'm just going to do a little tap. Nothing major. And then I'm going to take this piece that I just shrunk off and bring it back over here. And just double check and see where I was off. I really can't see much of that. Alright, so y'all catch that? 2 pieces in the middle. Use your nose to kind of find balance. And bada bing, bada bang. Still feel like her nose is a little off because I feel like this right side is longer, but it's all good. I'm just going to let this be my math. Alright, so that's what I want y'all to do now. Continue to work until you get to your side. And when you get to your sides, drop them down as well. Cut those. And we're going to keep the same routine. I'm going to work up until I get to the little hairline so that we can work the hairline together.
Miss Taylor, can we take our break?
Yes. Break time. Kiss is like, so if y'all need y'all 2 o'clock break, go right ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Are we going to be working on like each other?
No, not in here.
Not cutting our hair, but like doing those.
Right now, you want back here in beginners. So let me get her angle and really check my work. Alright, so now let's see here.
Earlier I wasn't. I said something too. I was like, nope, you gotta do it now.
And one thing about it that I love with cutting is that everything will talk to the body. And like I said, you know what feels most comfortable for you. Once you get the shears, holding the shears properly, you can move and adjust. And then also to see what type of shears that you prefer. We normally have, what is the shear company?
I just messed up my hair.
Did you? All right, I'm about to come over.
Get away when I do that.
All right, hold on. Don't do anything. Just find that section for me, and I'm going to come check it for you.
There ain't no checking it.
What sheets do we use then?
Say that again.
He said we usually use what company?
There's a company that comes, and my mind just went straight blank. Lord have mercy, Icon Shears. Normally they will come and do like a demo for you guys, just and display their shears and let you see the different types. I think it's a cool opportunity for you guys to look at least if you don't like their brand, to get a feel of what the different types of shears feel like the shears with a swivel thumb that moves around. There's some with like double swivel finger holes. So it's just so many different types that are out there for you to find what works best for you, what shears are most comfortable for you.
Yeah. Those sound fancy.
All right, when we're working the sides, we got a very dramatic hairline, okay? So when you are working your sides, because her side is so, her hairline is so exaggerated, so you see how I can bring it here, or B, over direct it back into the hair that's down here. Okay? That's what we're gonna do today, is we're just gonna lightly over direct it back so that it falls with the hair in this area. We're not gonna drop it forward like this and bring it down. What is gonna happen, it's gonna be even here, but when we bring it back, it's gonna be a little bit shorter. Okay? So just because of the hairline that our mannequin have, we're going to put some respect on that hairline, and we're going to draw it back just a tad bit. Nothing dramatic, just kind of brush it back and do that light tension there, nothing major. And then we're going to bring the hair down, and I'm not holding it all tight. Then I'm going to clean it up. Boy, this hair's so thin. And there's really nothing for me to cut right here. Okay? Then I'm going to go to the other side because there's absolutely nothing for me to cut in the back. It's just way shorter. I already checked. And now I see a few stragglers on this side. So once again, I'm going to draw the hair back. You can place your finger here if the hair continues to move out of that position. And just drag it down. And lightly bring the hair down. I have a few stragglers here. Hardly nothing at all for me to cut, and y'all are going to be the same way. If you're using Miss Anna's mannequin, you're going to notice that in this area, it's shorter. It's okay. Just cut the little stragglers to the left. And here, y'all can see I got sick of all of those clips. I ended up with one clip. Now I'm just going to take this and comb this down. Because it's hardly anything I can tell by the length. I know it's not traveling all the way to the end. Okay, so I'm just going to comb this down. And like back here, I can tell it does not reach. Okay, so we're not going to go in and trim the ends or anything, or hold it and layer it or anything. We're just going to bring it straight down and accept the fact that baby girl needs another trim. Alright. Now, as you can see, I'm combing the hair the way that it falls. Okay, the way that it grows, rather. Okay, it's growing from this area. I'm combing that down. This is growing from this area. I'm flattening it out and combing it that way. And I'm bringing this down as well. And then I'm going to come over here to the other side. And like I said, there's probably hardly anything for me to cut. Dry it out right in that corner. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that, a little bit of that. So nothing to cut. Let me double check. Make sure no stragglers. No stragglers. No stragglers. And drawing it back and down. Oh, one little tiny little piece right there. Okay. Yeah. Just double check my work. Alright, no stragglers. And then when I do this side, come back in the back, I'm just gonna double check. Absolutely nothing. Nope. And you see how she has that little wave to her hair? Boom, nothing for me to cut, honey. Alright, another little tiny little piece. When I bring this forward, it's, for you guys, it's probably going to come down long. And that's okay. Okay? Just take it and make sure that it lines up with the side. So we're going to pick back up here tomorrow. For right now, I want you guys to go ahead and break down your stations, clean and disinfect your tools, so do your post-service procedures, and then we're going to pick back up here tomorrow. You can leave your heads here, and Alexis is going to take care of those.